I'm excited to be here today with all of you ladies to talk about my experience with social media and most recently Reels and how I have found success with that. And I just want to give Tiffany a quick, give her a reaction in the comments. That was amazing. I took some notes. I've been on social media for a long time. But it's always good to keep that top of mind, auditing your Facebook, thinking about how you can improve that. Things change with social media every once in a while. So it's really good that you ladies are plugged into Tiffany or plugged into a business coach who knows what they're doing, who keeps up on stuff like that to help you stay up to date with the changes that social media is bringing. So I'm pretty excited to share my story today. So if we haven't met, I know some of you ladies on the call, because Tiffany and I do work so closely together. I have been with my company for about 5.5 years, and I had a super, super slow start. So when I got started, I had a really small network, and I actually hadn't really heard of direct selling or network marketing before, believe it or not. I had a couple family members or friends who maybe sold like Pampered Chef or Norwex, but I didn't understand it as a business plan. I just thought it was something, that they did on the side for fun. And so when I got started with my business, I didn't really envision it being something that I would build to full time. And just one second, let me just mute my Facebook here. Sorry about that. Okay. I didn't envision it to be full time, and it has been full time for me for the past about 4.5 years. And so I used a lot of the strategies that Tiffany is talking about today, what she's already talked about and what she's going to talk about this afternoon, to help me grow my business initially. So it was a lot of the networking things, a lot of the daily grind things. I feel sometimes we don't talk about those things that it takes consistency over time to build your business. It's not something that just happens overnight and that people get lucky with, or, somebody got in at a good time. No matter what company you're with or how long you've been in your business, it really just does take consistency to get there. So that's what I did. I showed up badly. I showed up without knowing what I was doing and all of the good strategies. I was somebody who posted my link to my company right on Facebook. I was somebody who sent those messages that were maybe not the best, maybe a little bit spammy, pammy kind of messages. And it was just, continuing to plug into things like this and plug into business coaches. There's a lot of free information out there that you can look into to figure out how to grow. And so I started applying some of those. I had my first breakthrough. It was actually with, I had a mom in a Facebook group that I'm in, and she's like, I really love this product that you're selling and promoting, and I would like to share it with my friends. And I was just like, really, that'd be so amazing, because I didn't know how to network. I didn't know how to ask for referrals. And so she really helped me. She did a referral post on her Facebook wall, and she connected me to a lot of her network. And that's actually how I ended up getting connected with Tiffany initially, was through this woman early on in the business. So that is how I got started. And now, a few years later, this is my full-time income, and I have since transitioned. So I still do Facebook. So I just want to pause here real quick and mention this. Whatever you're doing with your business now on social media, if that's working for you, definitely continue doing that. So if that's doing referral posts, or if it's doing parties, or it's, in-home things, whatever you do for your company, if you are finding success in selling and sponsoring, definitely keep doing those things. What I'm going to teach you with Reels is something that I added in. And when I started finding a lot of success with that, that's when I pivoted a little bit more of my time toward doing that, but I still do all the Facebook things over here. So in order to not get overwhelmed, I usually recommend to try one thing, do it consistently for 30 to 90 days. And when you've mastered that, or you feel good about doing that, then you can add in another thing, another platform. You can add in another little thing to do every day or every week to your business so that you don't get overwhelmed. So if you see me looking down, it's because I have notes here because I do have mom brain and kind of, ADD all over the place with my thoughts. So I started doing reels in January of this year. Now, some people will say that the window for success on social media has, a timeline or a timestamp. And what I have found is, people will argue in 2021 that was the best time to get started with reels. I didn't get started till this year. I have still had a lot of success. So if you haven't gotten started yet, don't let it stop you that other people have been doing this for a long time. It's the same thing with Facebook or anything new that we learn. I just got on Instagram a few months ago. I still don't really know what I'm doing on there. But anything that you do consistently over time, you will get results, even if you're doing it badly, even if you're doing it after a wave of growth. So I just wanted to add that because sometimes I have some reservations that I hear from my teammates of, I feel like I missed out on something, or I don't know if I should keep doing that. So, okay, I'm going to paint you the picture. So for my business, I started reels in January and I started doing like maybe 3 to 4 of them a week. And I didn't really get many results for the first few weeks. And then all of a sudden I had one that just, got pushed out to the For You page. And I had within 1 month about 1,500 women who reached out to me and gave me their contact information, their phone number, their email, and asked me for more information. So I went from 0 to 1,500 with one video. Now, virality is not always the goal, and it can be stressful for that to happen. But the goal is to get views, right? The goal is to get eyeballs on your content. So don't get discouraged and don't compare yourself. I know some of you on here have probably been doing reels for a little while now. Some of you are taking this training because you're just getting started or you want to know how to get started. Think of if you have, 30 people see a video, that is like a whole classroom or whole bus of people. And if 30 people showed up at your front door and said, I want more information about your product, wouldn't you be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So don't have your goal be, 1 million views. Have your goal be to show up consistently, to get a few more eyeballs on your stuff every day. And over time, that adds up to a lot of customers. It adds up to new teammates as long as you're consistent. So I'm going to be talking today mostly about TikTok because that is what I use. I do repurpose over to Facebook Reels and over to Instagram, but that is not my expertise. So I'm not going to be sharing so much about that, but the strategy can be applied to both. And then also I just want to quick add this. I'm not going to be going over so much of the how-tos because a lot of the how-tos, like how to make a video or how to add text to a video, those things you can very easily Google or YouTube step-by-step instructions. So I want to get you to get the most out of what we're talking about today about the strategy, not the how-tos. Okay, a quick stat for you. Over 30% of TikTok users are over the age of 30, and 60% of those people are women. So I think all of us on the call today are women. Am I right, Tiffany? I think we're all women, but a lot of us have products that market to women. And even if you have a product that markets to men, women control most of the spending dollars, at least in the United States. So that's to our huge advantage on TikTok, that we have 60% of women who are over the age of 30. And for most of us, those are women who are going to be in the market that we want to sell our product to. All right, so a quick couple things. I'm just going to share an overview of TikTok really quickly, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty, but it's because I want you to understand that TikTok is a little bit different than Facebook. So Facebook is more of like a proactive platform. You have to be posting on there to get views. If you have a live video, like Tiffany was mentioning, you might have like a good week. right? Where people are going to see that video and then eventually it just kind of dies out. It has a shelf life. Whereas with TikTok, when you make a video, you might have a spike in views and then it kind of dies down. And then a couple weeks later, it has another huge spike in views. They're kind of like these evergreen videos that are always getting pushed out to the For You page. And this is because, so TikTok wants you to stay on their app. And so they are going to be smart about pushing that out, using certain hashtags, using certain parameters, which I'll go over here in a minute. But if you're doing it right, you're going to get your content pushed out to people over time. So I have a video that my very first one that went viral, and technically viral is like millions of views. I say viral, I don't know, I had several thousand views on it back in January. I will occasionally get a week where all of a sudden I'll get 20 new leads from that same video. People will comment on it, they'll ask for more information or whatever that is. Another thing to consider about TikTok videos. So I know some of you on this call right now are thinking like, this is overwhelming to learn a new platform. I don't want to do this. I don't know if I can learn how to do this. Is this worth my time? Things that you can do with a TikTok video, you make it one time. You can download it to your phone. You can re-upload it to Facebook. You can re-upload it to Instagram. You can put it in your stories in both of those places. You can put it in your customer Facebook group. So if you have a VIP group or if you do parties, they're only 7 seconds long in a lot of cases. So you can text them through Messenger to people. So as you're making your content for your TikTok videos, whether it's answering questions your customers might have or giving tips that your customer base might need, you can use one video that is 7 seconds long and put it all over the place. Now think of that compared to any other kind of marketing you've done in the past. So whether you're doing a Facebook Live or whether you're doing a post, all of those things can't be repurposed all over and it can't be the same tool. So you're not going to send a post through a text message, right? You're not going to be able to download a live video and just put that everywhere because it's going to be too long. So I love the versatility of TikTok videos or reels in general, being able to use one video across several different strategies and repurpose it. The other thing I now do, since I've been making them for 8-ish months, is I take the old ones I've made and I add a new trending sound to them. So, and those still get really good views. Okay, let me see here. All right, my personal stats. So since the beginning of January, when I started making my videos until now, I have had about 80% of my business in 2022 come from my reels, guys. And that's something that has just been a total change. I'm still doing the Facebook thing, but imagine yourself, let's say you're selling, $1,000 a month with your current company in any given month. Now imagine adding in a short video, maybe you're making a few of them a week, and you have an 80% increase in your business. So once you learn how to make a video, and they go a lot faster once you learn how to do them the first few times, just trust in the process and the business will come. Okay. So after you make your initial video, it kind of goes out in batches. So you're going to want to concentrate on a few things for video. So good lighting is one of them. You're going to want to have it be dynamic, meaning you're going to want to have text popping up in different places. You're going to want to have movement. Maybe you change your camera angle. And the reason you want to do this is because that adds to the amount of people who watch the video till the end and the amount of people who are going to rewatch the videos. So those are the other two, your completion rate of the video and how many people are going to rewatch your video. Those are really important. So when you put out a video, TikTok will send it to a small batch of people. And if it does well there, based on their points, like did a lot of people watch it to the end? Did you have good lighting? Did people rewatch it? It will push it out to a second batch. And that's where TikTok really kind of looks more at it. So it will look at the hashtags you used and try to guess and push it out to the audience that you used those hashtags for. So it's it's actually really important that you want to try to stick with one content. Okay, so I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that actually in a little bit because I have a little bit more to say on that. And then if it does well in the second batch, then TikTok itself will look at it, not just the bots, and it will say like, okay, this made it through the first 2 batches, and this has the potential to go viral. Versus Facebook, it's like you have one chance to hit the algorithm and then that video kind of dies. You have to make another one. So if you do it right and you do it smart, and you produce a good video that has good lighting, good sound quality, then that will get pushed out to the second and third batch. The other thing on there would be comments and shares. So you do want to try to have a call to action in a lot of your videos. So that might be, you know, saying like, what is your favorite, whatever, what time do you go to bed at night? Some of those sorts of things. So like, let's say you're in skincare and your title is how to reduce under eye bags, right? Or bags, whatever area of the United States you're in, bags or bags. That could be your title. And then maybe your video is like 3 how-tos. And remember, it's really fast. You're gonna have like number 1 here, you're gonna have number 2 here, you're gonna have number 3 here. And maybe number 3 goes kind of quickly and it's hard to read, right? So then someone's gonna rewatch it because they want to get tip number 3, right? And then you could have a question in your captions that says something like, and you know, maybe one of your advice under eye bags is get 8 hours of sleep. So you could put in your captions, how many hours of sleep do you get at night? You know, that will produce comments, that will produce likes. So that's a strategy. And okay. So can you ladies put in the comments here for me, how many of you have made at least 5 reels? Or why don't you put in the comment, write me in a note here. How many of you have not done any reels? How many of you have done at least 5? And then how many of you have been doing this for a little while, just so I can kind of get a little bit here. Okay, good. So I'm getting like zeros too, been doing it for a few months, been, you know, handful here and there. Okay, congrats, Sherry, on downloading that inconsistently. Okay, all right. So now put in the chat for me, ladies, what is holding you back from getting started? Is it because you don't know how to do them? Is it you fear getting on camera? Let me know. So confidence, don't know how, need ideas, what to film. Okay, all right. So I'm seeing a lot of people need to know how, they need to know ideas of what to do and a fear of being on camera. Okay, so let me ask you this, ladies. If you could increase your business by 80% in, like, let's say in 2023, by getting over your fear of being on camera. And now remember, this isn't a live video. I don't do live videos very often. If I'm being honest, I grew my business without doing a lot of live videos. I think that Tiffany is so smart to recommend doing a live video. I think that is very effective. But if I want to encourage you, if you are afraid to get on live video, making reels is actually a really great place to start. You control the start button, you control the stop button, you can make the edits, and it's only 7 seconds. So it's like, even if you screw up, it's not frustrating because it was only 7 seconds, right? You can go back and restart and make another one for 7 more seconds. So let me know in the chat if you could increase your business by 80%, and if you could tolerate being on camera for 7 seconds and you could come up with content ideas, would you do that? Okay, good. That's what I'm excited to hear, ladies. So I just want to dispel that fear about making the videos. I will admit I had stress sweat and my heart was pounding the first couple times I made it, and I wasn't even live, but that's a real thing. Most people are afraid to be on camera, and that is normal. That is totally normal. And I love the quote about that we can choose our hard, right? So it's really hard to get on camera for the first few times, and it's really hard to be vulnerable, but it's also really hard to not have enough income or to not feel like you are reaching your full potential or that you are helping people when you feel called to help people in the space that we're in with our products and services that we offer, right? Like that is hard. So we get to choose which one we're going to do. And so, yes, so choose your hard. All right. So ladies, we're going to go over, okay, so I'm going to give you some homework right now. If you haven't started your TikTok account, I do want you to go download the app right now while we're talking. Just go ahead and download it. That's not scary, right? And we are going to jump just a little bit ahead to this next part now based on what your answers were. And then I'm going to circle back to the other stuff. So if we have some people on here who are who have already been making reels for quite a while, then I'm going to get to you in just a minute with more of the higher level strategy. But right now we're going to focus on a couple of things. So if you could get your phone notes out or a pen and paper. Tammy, you want to download, good question. We want to download the TikTok app on our phone. So mine looks like, this is my husband and baby. Sorry, I don't even know if you can see. It's this, it kind of almost looks like a music note, right? Black background, white and pink. Somebody asked what it looks like. So go ahead and find that in your app store on your phone and download it. And then the next part that I want you to do, ladies, is just think about who were you before you found your current company or your current products? So how were you feeling? What was your situation like? And we're doing this exercise because this is going to help us come up with our first like 15 video ideas or your next 15. So if you've been doing this for a while, this is going to help come up with that. So for example, I'll give my personal example. I was a stay-at-home mom. I was working part-time waitressing and bartending at night to help pay our bills while my husband worked full-time. I was breastfeeding my baby and I had mastitis infections a lot because I was wearing a bad bra. So my product is bra replacements. And so that's what drew me to my company. I needed income because my pain point was I was working part-time in the evenings away from my family. And I had breast health issues because I was wearing underwire bras. So that's who I was before I found my company. If you're in skincare, maybe you had acne, or if you're in health and wellness, maybe you had joint pain and inflammation. What was that for you? If you're, in hair care, and go ahead and put it in the chat so other people can see what you're writing and it will help inspire, who they were. Frizzy hair, good one. That's a perfect one. Uncomfortable bras, dull skin, good. No confidence, stressed, anxious all the time, weight gain, hated getting dressed, lymphatic health issues, unhealthy, overweight, thinning hair, breast health and physical health issues. These are great, ladies. And if you're new to your company, this might be a problem that you are like currently experiencing that you are hoping to have resolved through your product. So don't feel like you have to have been doing this for a long amount of time or already have the results in order to do this exercise. All right. Great. I hope you ladies are reading the chat. There are some super good things in here. Seeing pets die too soon. Needing money. Yep. So these are great things. All right. So now, couldn't afford the skincare that you wanted. That's a great one. A great reason why you partnered with your skincare company. working in the factory 70 hours a week and wanting something more fun. Okay, great. So you ladies get the idea. You can, and the more pain points you can write down, or the more things you can think about that you were dealing with before you found your product, the better. Now, write down, how did you feel when you heard about and when you found your product? So not when you tried it, but how did you feel when you initially heard about it? And this is where the reservations are going to be that most of your customers and teammates have, right? You might think, oh, that looks amazing, but it's too expensive. That might be skeptical. Good one, Kim. That is such a good one. It might be that you, that you've tried everything else similar to that. Yeah, too good to be true. It wouldn't fit you. Your problem was too big for that to solve, right? Think of all of those kinds of things that might have gone through your head, or things that intrigued. Yeah, good one. It can definitely be a positive thing, like just flabbergasted, you know, like never heard of that concept before, and that sounds amazing. So think about those, and all of those things are like reservations that you can also make videos about. So all of our videos are going to be like mini stories, right? They're going to be like, what was the problem? Why were we nervous to try that? And then what was our solution that we found? So that's the third thing we're going to write down, is how did you feel, or how do you feel now that you're using your product or service? So Kristen, is your hair still frizzy? You know, like, do you have amazing, like lustrous hair that you don't have to wash as often? Or, you know, you no longer have to wear a mom bun every day. You know, those are things like maybe your first few videos could be like you wearing a mom bun, being like, I used to have hair like this every day. And then that could be the text. And then it could be like a transition. And the next page could be like you showing your hair and be like, now my hair looks like this every day. Like that's a story in there, visually or in text. All right. So don't tune out, ladies. Focus really hard, because we have to have our marketing hats on right now. I want you to come up with like 10 things that have been a solution for you before we move on to the next part, because so that you feel like you are walking away from this training confident that you have material to make like 15 or 20 videos, right? So things that we have as solutions that we feel after our product: being more organized, being confident in your skin, looking better in clothes, no underwires poking. What else, ladies? Drop them in the chat for us. Maybe you don't have joint pain anymore. And then be thinking about, so take that one step further if you're having trouble coming up with ideas. So like feeling confident in your skin, Kim, like what do you do now that you're more confident in your skin, right? It's like now you wear different clothing, or maybe you go on more date nights with your husband. What do you do now that you're like more confident that you don't have acne? Maybe you take pictures of yourself again. These are things that people who have a similar problem that you used to have are still experiencing, and they feel those things. Yeah, they feel those things still. So maybe people are hiding from pictures. Maybe they're not getting on the ground to play with their kids or their grandkids because they have joint pain. Maybe they are sitting with a pillow over their lap because they have a little bit of fluff, you know, over their pants. What kind of fashion wear do you have? What kind of supplements do you have to help people get rid of the fluff around their middle? Maybe you were wearing a hat every day, and now you can just roll out of bed and tuck some product in your hair and it's no longer frizzy, right? So we're thinking about who we were, the solution, and that is going to be what we make our content out of. So now I'm going to challenge you ladies here. Do we need a few more minutes on this, ladies, or do you get the gist? Do you have your lists ready? Because I'm going to challenge somebody to unmute and tell me what a video idea that you have based on this exercise that you feel, not whether or not you feel confident about how good the video is going to be, but that you have the content ready for your video. So I'm going to invite one person to unmute and share what a video idea they have that came out of this.
Stacy, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so mine's mostly about like confidence in clothes. So I was thinking like maybe putting on clothes that I no longer wear anymore and like being like sad and then switching the clothes up to the ones that I do love now and being happy.
I love that. That is such a great idea. And you know, that wouldn't really take a lot. Like if you're making a 7-second video, you could put an outfit on, you could stand there and like go like this or make a sad face, you know, pause, you know, clip the video, pause the video, go change, come back on and be happy. Like that doesn't have to be a big, scary live video that's 30 minutes long, you know, that we don't know what we're doing. It's a very manageable thing to do. Great share, Stacy. Thanks for sharing. Does anybody else want to share a video idea they got? And just pause 1 second. And actually, Stacy, so like if you are in the field of like clothing or fashion confidence, you could do like a whole bunch of stuff, like be thinking about what ladies are asking before, like what are the things you asked before? So like how to dress for my body type, right? That would probably be a question that a lot of women are Googling. You could have how to dress for an apple shape, how to dress for pear, how to dress for hourglass. That's several different videos. You know, that's 3 right there just based on body shape. You could do, you know, how to dress when you're over XX years old, right? There's a lot of people who, when they become a certain age, they don't know, like, should I still be wearing this? You know, should I be transitioning into some other kind of clothing? So that's a whole, you know, niche there. So let's see here.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
Would another one be like how to dress when you don't look like you did when you were a teenager?
That would be an amazing title. How to dress when you are no longer a teenager. Yeah. And that could be so funny. You could come up with like, you know, wearing a backward hat and like a bunch of, like, you could show yourself dressed as a teenager, right? And then,
That would be really
when you're
fun.
16 versus when you're so-and-so that would be a great title headline.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. See, and these are so fun, ladies. Reels have really brought the joy back into my business. It's a real thing that no matter how long you're doing this business, you have to do things that keep you engaged and keep you joyful. And it's just been hilarious and fun for me to come up with stuff like this.
Hey, Kayla,
Okay.
can I ask a question just to kind of broaden, I think, the ideas? For example, you know, if we're hearing Stacy's idea and you guys are like, oh my God, like that would be such a fun thing, but I'm not in fashion, you know, could someone, for example, who's in makeup or skincare or something, do something similar, but their kind of maybe last piece of their reel or TikTok is related, but don't forget that one last thing, you know, to put on, and, and like they're showing putting on their lipstick, that's going to like set the tone for the whole outfit, or putting on that last piece of jewelry if you're a jewelry person to like finalize that outfit, right? So a lot of these concepts, I think, can be in multiple industries.
Absolutely. Be constantly thinking about when you're watching other people's videos that have success, think about how you could be sharing your story in there. So for example, I just found somebody who she sells skincare products, and she has she's making her video, but she puts a sticker photo. So that's like a setting in the reel. She puts a photo like right here every time she's talking of what she looked like when she was 42 years old. And she has a really big crease right here. And she just has like, she looks like she's older than she is. And then her actual live video right here, after she's been using her skincare and taking collagen, she looks like she reverse aged. That's like one of her hashtags, by 15 years. So she has a still shot here in every video. And then she's talking about or doing whatever over here. And so even like looking at that, I'm not in skincare, but I take that concept and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put a picture of what I looked like in my bra or what somebody on my team looked like in their bra right here. And then I'm going to be talking about, you know, my alternative over here. So if you have, you know, if you're not in fashions or you don't like, we all can like produce a visual response. So maybe right here, it's frizzy hair. It could even be a stock photo. It could be your frizzy hair you used to have. And then you're over here talking about your hair care. So that's just an idea that I like took her, to your point, Tiffany, her concept. And I was thinking, how can I share my story in a similar way that she shared hers, because she's really successful. And I love if you're selling jewelry, or purses or totes. Those are a great idea. Like, I do not know how to accessorize jewelry, ladies. If I found somebody on Reels that showed me what kind of necklaces to wear with what outfits, I'd be like, oh wow, like that's so helpful. I will definitely follow that person. I'm just gonna quickly. Okay, so pets. I'm sorry, I missed whose name had the pets. I was just trying to scroll up there.
I just wanted to ask you a quick question, because I was thinking about, you asked about how you could do a reel or a TikTok. And I was thinking about how I have a lot of ideas, but sometimes like I don't have very old skin. Like I'm 43, but I don't got those WTF lines. I don't have marionette lines. I don't really have that many wrinkles at all. But there's a lot of people on my team. You can see the difference. You can see what they look like. All these massive WTF marionette and all the stuff under their eyes, and you could show that as like a before picture, and then with TikTok, you know, they like spin it, and then you get the next picture, and then you could show the after one. The other thing is too, for me, my hair is so different from what it used to be. My hair was so flat and not voluminous. I had to wear an introverted bob. Now my hair is like past, like to my boobs, but it's because of what I use for my hair care. So sometimes I use images rather than like talking in a video, or you know, how like you had said for Stacy, where she could dress like a teenager, and then you show her dressed as an older person. So
Yeah.
it's okay to use it like that too.
Yeah. Great tips. So I know it was a little bit hard for me to hear Casey. I don't know if that was just on my end, but the gist of what she said was you can use other people's stories in your videos. So, you know, if you don't currently have wrinkles or whatever, you can, you know, show a teammate who has wrinkles or hair. And what I heard you say in there, Casey, that I think would be like a great title would be something like from bob haircut to what did you say, hair to my boobs or whatever, like that, you know, have a headline like that. And have that be, yeah, and have that be your title. So we can be sharing other people's stories too, you know, within those stories. And I think that's smart because we all have different, you know, things. So you might be really focused on somebody who has joint pain because that's where you came from, but maybe you share like a series of other people's stories about joint pain or skincare or whatever. Like my friend Gina can now crawl on the floor with her grandkids. You know, it's the same kinds of things that we do on Facebook, but we're really honing in on them and putting them into the short, you know, catchy, dynamic videos. From bob to boobs. I love that, Kristen. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly touch on Melissa's in here too, because so she has pet care. So Melissa, if I were you, I would put like the common questions that people would have about caring for their pets. And I think you could really build some great value videos around that. So be thinking in your head, you can really create who you want to be in the video. So if you want, like, be thinking, I want to be the person that people go to when they have a question about pets, probably, right? Because you sell things regarding, you know, pet health. So how to keep your pet more active, best 6 tips for helping your dog sleep better, or, you know, you would know better than I do. about what kind of frequently asked questions your customers have, or people who might find value, how to get your pet to be calm, how to my favorite training tricks for pets, you know, those sorts of things. And then sharing value around that, and then sprinkling in or putting in your captions of your video, you want to have a call to action. So it might be like, text pet to this number, and you put your project broadcast number in there. Text pet for more information about such and such. Your call to action might be to get people funneled into your group where you offer tips about how to care for your pets. I hope that helps, Melissa. And someone says that they were reading last night in a book for book club. I am not sure if that was regarding pet care, but that might be a good resource for you to check out. Oh, Answer the Public. Yes. Okay. So Answer the Public, you can go onto that website and you can get 1 free search a day. So that's an amazing tool to use too. And it's about like a lot of questions people are asking about your particular subject. So you might plug something in there about pets, and you can get a lot of answers for what people, the top questions people are asking about pets. Good. All right. We have time for one more share. If somebody wanted to quickly share an idea that you got for your video, and then I'm just going to move into a little bit of higher level strategy, and you ladies are welcome to ask questions throughout, but then the last few minutes here, before we wrap this up, we can do just like we'll leave some time for question and answers too.
I will share.
Awesome.
We are, my company is in pre-launch for a leptin reducing weight loss product, and a lot of people are using the before and afters for those who got the privilege of being able to be testers for it. And so I like the ability to be able to put a picture, a sticker, whatever you called it, in the corner to be able to share, but also being able to share tips on how to get healthy so that you will lose weight, and just ideas like that that are very beneficial for people to get healthy, because health is what getting healthy, exercising, eating right, drinking plenty of water is what's going to aid you in being able to help you lose weight. So
I love that. Yeah. Thanks for sharing, Tiffany, Sherry. So you have like, you know, maybe a before and after sticker right here. And then your dynamic part of your video is going to be like top 3 tips for weight loss, right? If that's what your focus is. And it's like, drink more water, get enough sleep. And then maybe your third one is kind of linked to your product, like make sure your nutrition supplement, or make sure you're plugged into a good nutrition plan, or whatever that part is that you are marketing. And then in your caption too, you can tell a little bit of your story. Like, I used to not sleep well, and now I've not only been able to lose weight, but I don't snore anymore. Text this, you know, text weight loss to this number for more information, or something like that. Do you always end your video with for more info? This is, I do highly recommend having project broadcast. If you are serious about using Reels to grow your business, 80% in 2023, let's put that out there, right, ladies? We're all going to do that. We're all going to grow our business by 80% in 2023. I do recommend having a call to action and having a project broadcast number. It doesn't have to be complicated. I do not use project broadcast for campaigns or anything like that. I literally have it be in place of my personal cell phone number, really, because I don't want to put that out there. And you can do a little bit of automation with it. And there's like tons of YouTube videos about how to use that, how to use project broadcast. If you wanted to do that, you could alternately have your call to action be to connect with you on Instagram or Facebook. and be linking people, over there. You could have your call to action be to click on your link tree in your bio that you have. And you could be funneling people over there, and maybe they have an opt-in of a different sort to click on there. So you don't have to use Project Broadcast, but I do recommend it because that weekend that my video went viral, I actually had a girls' weekend for our team. And it was crazy. And I was so glad to have a little bit of that be automated where people could, do my call to action. And the first step at least was taken care of for that. Do we have any other questions before I just move into a few more tips? Feel free to unmute or put in the chat. I'll give a few seconds here and then I'll move on.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I've noticed that on
Sorry, go ahead, Casey, and then we can move to Sherry.
You mentioned having a caption and a call to action. Do you do that on Reels and TikToks, or one or the other?
I think what you said was, do you put a caption on Reels and TikTok, or just one or the other? So yes, so the caption is in your video on Reels. So you can actually have that be, so I'm just going to show it right here. I don't know how well you can see. Right down here is the caption. This is on TikTok Reels. And on Facebook, it looks pretty similar once it's in there. So it's not the same as putting the information on your timeline on Facebook. That might be where the confusion is. It's not like you don't add text and also then upload a video. It's all part of the same part of making the reel. Yes. Yep. So right before, like when you're making a reel, and you can look on YouTube, it'll give you step by step. You record your video, you hit the next button, you can add your text for the caption, and then you would go to publish it. And the caption is just like light writing over the top of the video. So that's a great question, Casey, because that actually leads me into one of my next tips. When you're making your videos, you want to keep your text pretty tight, because you don't want your text boxes that you have flashing to be below the caption, or people can't really read them. And there is a little preview button. And again, you can Google or YouTube how to preview your video before you post it. But you'll want to do that and make sure you can see everything on your video. And then also, when you do repurpose over to Instagram or Facebook, sometimes because it is a different platform, it kind of enlarges everything just a little bit. So your text might go a little higher or lower. So just keep in mind, you want to keep it tight. And, just get started. I like the first few videos I made, my text was like partially off screen, and that's okay. That's just part of the learning process. It's like when you do anything new, you're not going to be great at it the first few times, and it gets a lot easier over time. Somebody had a comment here about the link in bio being salesy, and I wanted to touch on that because there is on a few months ago on TikTok, you used to just be able to say to somebody or comment under them, check the link in my bio. And now that's kind of flagged, just like the same way Facebook flags keywords like sale and stuff like that. So you do have to be careful. Like you have to say, like when I write the word bio, because that tends to be flagged, I'll write like B.io. It's kind of like how we do that with sale on Facebook or different things like that. I feel like with that said, a lot of TikTok users now know to go look in people's bio for information too, but you still want to give them a clear call to action. So in your caption, it could be in your caption, or it could be in your comments, that you tell them where to go. Connect with me on Instagram, check out the free PDF or whatever in my link tree or whatever, in my link in my bio, all of those things that's offering value. Sherry, did you have a question? And if not, I'll share my next few.
You just answered it, so thank you very much.
Okay, wonderful, good. Okay,
Your place in TikTok where then repurpose or share it all over. Like you were mentioning, you could make a TikTok video, but then share it in Facebook, on Instagram, all that. So is there a place in TikTok where you would click on the video and then it'll give you that option? Or do you then have to download it and then upload it to other platforms?
yes, great question. So Casey's question was, how do you repurpose your video across platforms? There's not a feature in TikTok to do that, but there's a setting in TikTok that you can click on automatically download to phone. So that's my setting. So it just downloads to my camera reel, like as if I took a video of, you know, the outdoors right here. And then you can download an app, like TickSave is one of them, to remove the watermark. It will say TikTok on your video. And then you can upload it like a 7-second video. You just like, you know, took on your phone and upload it to your stories, upload it to your Facebook or Instagram, send it as, you know, a message in Messenger. You do. And again, like, so some of this is advanced stuff. If you haven't made reels yet, just start making them, right? Like just start making them, get some practice. If you upload it to I have uploaded it to Facebook with the TikTok watermark on it. It's not going to be as effective, but in a time pinch, I've done it before and it's okay. And then, you know, if you're, you know, getting the hang of this and you want to be the most effective at then repurposing over on Facebook, you can use an app to remove the watermark and then upload it onto Facebook and Instagram that way. Does that help, Casey?
That removes the watermark.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The app that removes the watermark from TikTok.
The app that removes the watermark, I use TickSave.
Okay.
You can Google which one's best for Android or which one's best for iPhone. There's, you know, several different kinds, and in a couple months, it might be a different app that we need to use, right? So Google is always our friend. You know, social media is always changing, but you can always Google those, you know, how-to things. Great questions. Okay, so I'm gonna just give my last little bit of advice because it's almost Tiffany's turn. She's gonna take us into the next section, which we're all super excited for. But my challenge for you, so now that we wrote down those 3 things, who we used to be before we found our product, how did we feel when we found that product? Like what were those reservations going through our head? And then how are we feeling now that we have a solution? That's going to be our content for our videos. I want you, and I challenge you to commit to doing videos for a consistent period of time. I recommend 30 days at least to get started. So get really specific on your content and just choose 4 hashtags. So if you don't know what to do for hashtags, you can actually research right in the TikTok app. You can look on other platforms too and just see, like, there's a setting in there that you can look at most popular hashtags used in the last 3 months, for example. Look at the videos that other people are doing in your niche. So if you're in skincare, you know, and there's people you follow in skincare, look at what they're doing and what hashtags they're using. And then there's a couple different things you can do. You can either look at the trending sounds that someone's using. So if you click on the sound under someone's video, you can see other videos that people made using that same sound. Or same thing, if you click on someone's hashtag, you can see other hashtags that they use. So for example, with my company, one of my hashtags is usually bras, because people are searching for bras who are looking for my product. You might have hashtag pet wellness, or you might have hashtag frizzy hair or something like that. You can start playing around, and if you type the hashtags into the search bar in TikTok, you can see how many people are using those hashtags, and you can click on them and then it will bring up more hashtags that other people are using. So just choose 4. So take 4 hashtags and commit to 30 days of videos. Today we came up with probably a good 10 or 15 ideas of what to do for videos. And if you're feeling stuck, you can always think about frequently asked questions that you've gotten from customers or maybe that you had about your product. And as you start going, people will comment on your videos, and you can use their comments as a way to generate new content for a new video. And you can kind of form community around that, because your audience that you're growing will start feeling, heard and appreciated, that you are answering their questions. So the 3 things that we should do, Carolyn, one is find 4 hashtags that you want to use for your videos. And the second one is to commit to 30 days of making videos using the list that we came up with today for some ideas, or frequently asked questions. And then I don't know if I gave a third one yet. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I just gave those 2 things so far, but maybe I said a third one earlier. Okay, so commit to doing those every day. How many TikToks do you recommend posting per day? I recommend posting the amount that you can commit to doing. So if you can commit to doing 1 a day, definitely do that. If you can commit to doing 2 a week, then do that. Whatever the minimum number that you can commit to, I would highly recommend that. That is also, we want to think about what do we want out of our business. So if you want to create, faster results, you're going to want to post. You're going to want to post 1 a day or several a week. If you're okay with taking it easy and kind of, learning as you go, maybe you do, a couple a week. And Sandy brings up a great point. Thank you, Sandy. That was going to be my third thing. Scrolling down here. Is batching your videos. That's what I do. So again, they're only 7 seconds long. So what I will do, I just literally put my camera right up here in this stand. I make all my videos right here, and I take my list of ideas. I will go through and make like 7 videos at a time. It really doesn't take me long at all, because now I know what I'm doing. The hardest part is like learning how to add the text, and that's not even hard. I should say that the time consuming part. But I'll make 7 videos, and on TikTok, you can save them in your draft, it's called. So instead of posting them, you can just hit the draft button. So I actually often don't even really know exactly what my content is going to be for my video, but I'll still make one with the trending sound. I'll sometimes even point a couple times. I don't have the idea yet what the text is going to be, but I'll save them in my drafts. They're already done. And then I'll go back when I have, 10 minutes, and I'll add text to it, and I'll post that one for the day. And then the next day, or maybe I'll edit 4 of them. So I don't even have to think about it all week. I can just go through and post 1 of them a day. Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for clarifying your question. So the 3 things for making your content, and then we do have to wrap up, Tiffany, I think, right? Because we're coming into time. But what were you doing, or how did you feel? What were you doing before you found your product? So did you have joint pain? What were all the pain points? The second one was when you heard about your product, what was your reaction? Did you think, this looks amazing, but it costs a lot? This is not going to work for me. Those are the reservations that your customers will have. And then the third thing, Carol, is how did you feel after you found your product? Now you can crawl on the floor with your grandkids because you don't have a joint pain anymore because of your supplements you took, that sort of thing. So when you batch your videos, Sandy, yeah, you don't want to leave like a batched video using a trending sound for 3 months, in your drafts, because it probably won't be trending anymore 3 months later, but it's totally fine to do that for a couple of weeks. And if you're not using a trending sound, if you're just using your own voice, that's never going to expire, right? So that's fine to do that too. Ladies, I hope this helped. And if you have any questions. I will be sticking around until 1 o'clock. Feel free to put anything in the chat. I will be watching that. And Tiffany is amazing. You can always connect to her or to I to reach out with a question, and we're happy to guide you to a resource for that. And thank you, Tiffany, for inviting me on today. It was awesome to hang out with you ladies, and I wish you all of the success in your reel making, Facebook profile auditing success today.